Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. A very different setup. This is also a very different video. However, if you have followed me for some time, you know that about 2 years ago, I did a video on my BMW i3. And it's actually the best performing video that I have ever filmed, which is surprising because my channel has nothing to do with cars or anything like that. But I thought I would do a car video today. My BMW i3 is in the shop. It has been there. This is now, I think, the 5th day or 6th day we're going on. So they did give me a BMW X1, a 2020 model, as my loaner car. So I thought I would do a really quick 5 things I love about this car, 5 things I'm not loving about this car after driving it for, like I said, about 5 days. This is not the first time I have driven this car. When my husband was looking for a new car in 2016, we were actually going to pick up this 2016 model of the X1. We went and test drove it. We got a really good quote. We were on the verge of signing it. And then my husband just wasn't sure about the size and the amount of storage. He does go snowboarding, and he really wanted to have enough room for all his snowboard and his for all his snowboarding gear and everything like that. And because we also give out food to the downtown east side, to the less fortunate, we've been doing it for 5 years, not now because of COVID. We go to the warehouse and we pack up his car, which is a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. We load it up. So we just wanted to have enough room also for food for people. So that's why we chose not to get this car and we got the Jeep instead. Biggest mistake of my life. I really wish we had stuck with this because the amount of storage is actually very substantial. So I'm going to go over, like I said, the 5 things I love about this car, the 5 things I'm like, about. I am not a professional. I am a regular person. So if you really want a great in-depth review, go to Kelly Blue Book, I think, Blue Book or CarWow. They have awesome reviews. I am just going to tell you from a regular person's standpoint why this car is good. All right, so the first thing that I really love about the X1 is the aesthetics and kind of the little things that BMW thinks about. So let's unlock this. And I think that's a cool feature. So you can see the X1, that light illuminates there. So I don't know, say you're in a really dark parking garage or something like that, or you're out at night, you can kind of see where your car is. And then it also has the lights here at the doors as well as the rear. And then let's get inside and you can see also the cool features here. This has the light package, so you can see this cool purple light that shows up. You can also change the color as well. For being, I guess, like the entry level or for one of the most affordable BMWs, I really feel like the inside is very nicely done. This one does have the light package, so you can see that purple sort of glow. You can change it to, so you can change it to yellow, white, blue, all different colors. And then you can see down below here, it's just very clean, it's very sleek. Cup holders, I do wish they had that pull, but there is also a light there. I don't know if you can see. That's like a nice little touch, so you can actually see what is actually sort of in here. I do like that. Lots of space. The seats are super comfortable. I have to say that. I was in my friend's Lexus. It was an SUV. I can't remember which one it was right now, but the seats were so hard. These seats are comfortable. I mean, it is leatherette, which is sort of the basic it comes with it, but I do really like it. And it just looks nice on the inside. This infotainment center is massive. I believe it's 8.8 inches, so they did upgrade it. Mine in my i3 is fairly small, and it is touchscreen, which I don't like. I like having the toggle ability, honestly, to go through and do things, because I don't like it when the screen gets fingerprints all over it, like my husband's does all the time. But it's very sleek. It's very nice. It has like the dual heating system, so if you're with someone else in the car, they can adjust like the heat and the temperature control, I should say. And then when you want to go, you get this sort of nice welcome greeting as well, which I think is, you know, a little added touch. This is like part digital, part analog. As you can see, I really wish it was digital like my i3, just because when I'm driving, I like to see the exact speed that I'm going, like right in front of me. But this is also nice, so you can sort of see there if I change it to the different modes. There's sport mode, there's comfort mode, whatever. But I do appreciate the aesthetics of this car. I think it's very nicely done. It just looks good. So I really like the black leatherette, and I also like the dark wood grain sort of finish there, but there's so many different finishes and customizations that you can do with regards to, you know, upgrading to leather. There's just everything that you need to sort of suit your own aesthetic. All right, so looking at the back seat, you can see that purple light extends to the rear doors as well. There's lights up top on either side. There's also lights in the foot area, so you can see exactly where you're placing your feet, or if you maybe something fell down there, you can find it easily. One of the things my brother mentioned he thinks is really cool, he has a Mazda CX-5, but my i3 has this, and he thought it was a nice addition because he has kids. The ability for car seats right here to hook, he really liked that. He thought it made it just really simple and easy. And then something else I have to show you, so you can see here when you're not using the back seat, you can tuck this in so it's not sort of flopping around. I like that too. It's just like little things like that that BMW thinks about that I think is really nice. And there you go, there's the trunk area, and these seats do fold back as well, or fold down. And as you can probably tell, it is pouring here in Vancouver. That's why it's called Raincouver, because it rains, I don't even know, 300 days out of the year probably. So what I really appreciate about this car is the visibility. So I positioned the camera in such a way that you can sort of see my visibility and the views that I will be able to get if I do a shoulder check and look at my blind spot that way, or if I check that way. The window space and just the visibility is so great. This one does also have the panoramic sunroof, and I do have that part pushed back, so there's a lot of natural light coming into the car, especially on like a very dark, gloomy day like this. It's just nice to have this sort of added natural light. So the visibility in this car is so great. So the next thing that I really love about this car is the gas mileage. Now, I have used 1/4 of a tank of gas because it essentially was full when I got the loaner car. So you can see I'm at 1/4 of a tank there. I drive 15 kilometers to work and then 15 kilometers to get back home. I am on day 5 with this car, and I've only used 1/4 of a tank of gas. And in between that time, you know, I've driven out from Richmond to Burnaby, which is like another 20 kilometers. I've run errands. So I feel like 1/4 of a tank of gas for 5 days, going about 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers a day. Driving is pretty decent. I used to have a Honda Civic prior to this. I had 2 Honda Civics, and I just remember, like, I feel like the mileage is fairly similar. I know the Honda must do a little bit better, but I feel like the mileage for this is pretty good. Could also be because I typically don't buy gas anymore. I have an electric car, right? But with my husband's Jeep, it drinks gas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It just eats it. So I feel like the gas mileage on this car, being a compact SUV, is fairly good. Next reason why I really like the BMW X1 is because I think it's affordable, and that's completely my own personal opinion. It really depends on your economic and your financial situation, but I think that it is a fairly affordable option for a luxury car and a compact SUV. It is the cheapest BMW that you can buy here in Canada. It starts at $42,000. Obviously, when you add different sort of bells and whistles and packages and things like that, the price does go up, but it is the cheapest BMW that you can buy. And some people are against that. I've read on different forums, they're like, oh, why would you pay that much for the badge, for the BMW badge? But really, I think it's smart. I think it builds brand loyalty. So for example, for me, when I first got into luxury goods, I bought the cheapest Louis Vuitton item I could buy, and that was a $240 key pouch. It's now gone up in price, I believe. But I just wanted to see the craftsmanship, how it wore, how the people treated me in the store, the quality of it. I just wanted to dip my toes into, you know, Louis Vuitton. And obviously I love them because I bought so many more pieces by them. And I think BMW was smart in making this, you know, what I say, an affordable luxury compact SUV. It gets people to dip their toes into BMW, and hopefully I think what they're thinking is it's going to build brand loyalty. So for us, now that I bought my i3, the next car that I do buy, I'm pretty sure it's going to be another BMW, because I do like the brand. I do like how they've treated me as a customer. and I do like the luxury aspect of the car. Okay, so the next thing I love about the X1 is the amount of storage that there is. So let me show you the trunk. So automatic trunk option, opens it up. I love this option. I wish that my car had this, but it doesn't. So you can see here, there's a ton of room actually in here. You can take this off if you need to. The seats also do fold down, and then there is a lot of extra storage hidden in here. So I mean, you can fit so much extra in here. It's insane. I'm gonna actually show you with these grocery bags here. Some people like to use suitcases, but honestly, we're not traveling right now. I'm getting groceries, so let me show you how many grocery bags can kind of fit in here. All right, so in total, I fit 8 bags in there, and there's definitely room. I could have fit probably 10 in total, but there are some storage cubbies over here, as you can see. It's really nice that there's a light there, so anything you want to put in there, maybe a bottle of wine or something that's glass and you don't want to break. And then again, there's another cubby on this side, and there's also these handy little hooks here, so you can hook your grocery bags like that so they don't go flying around. But don't forget, you still have all this space sort of underneath here. And then if you wanted to, you could take this off if you have taller items. So my husband's snowboard could have definitely fit with one of the seats down, but a lot can fit in this car, or this compact SUV. And then this leads me on to another thing that I really like, is that this trunk space is fairly low. So on me, it hits like mid-thigh, I would say. So, you know, you're not grabbing things from the ground and raising them really high up. So I like the fact that it's low in case you have some really heavy item. You don't need to lug it up and put it into the trunk. So that's something I appreciate about the car being a little bit lower. And I do appreciate as well these kind of guards here so you're not scratching up your car. So now that I've gone over everything that I like about the BMW X1, let me tell you about some of the things that I do not like. The first one being, there is no blind spot detection. So similar to my BMW i3, there is no blind spot detection on either the driver's side or the passenger side mirror over there, the side mirrors. And it's not even an option to add on, which I find, if it's a luxury brand, why can't I even add it on? And so I've read some different forums and posts, and people are saying, oh, because it is a crossover and because it is like on the lower end, it's like X1. I don't think the X2 has it either, that they just don't offer it, or, you know, you don't need it because of the great visibility. But I really wish it were an option just to add on for that extra safety benefit. So that's one of the things that I do not like about this. It's not even an option to add on the blind spot detection. Obviously, I do a shoulder check, and I know that most people do a shoulder check, but adding that blind spot detection is just an extra safety measure. I mean, I've been driving and I've seen people come into my lane, and I'm sure they've done a shoulder check, but that's why it's called a blind spot, because sometimes you look and there is a blind spot and you don't see the car behind you, and it's tricky. So I wish that BMW gave that option for the X1. Next thing about the X1 that I don't like is more of an annoyance, and I noticed it as soon as I got into this car and I was gonna drive it away. And it has to do with the seatbelt. So let me show you. This armrest right here in the storage area is so close to the seatbelt right there. You can see, like, if I just hold it directly down in the camera and I pan down, you can see that this is so close to the storage area. So when I go to put my seatbelt in, it happened the first time, I smack this stupid thing every single time. And so, like, unless I angle it perfectly like that, it's okay. But even when I go to like unlock it, my hand will hit this, and I have small hands, so I don't know how anyone with like big hands deals with that. It's just annoying, and I guess you could just constantly leave that up, but it doesn't make sense why they made it so close. I mean, over here on this other side, it's okay because, you know, there's some room there, but for the driver's side, there's literally no room. So once you try and fasten your seatbelt, like, did you see, like, I hit that right away, like, it's an annoyance. Next thing that I'm not a huge fan of either is that I feel like I am just driving a car. So I know it's a compact SUV, and I know that it's fairly low to the ground and it's small, but it honestly feels like I am just in a car when I'm driving it. I just don't feel like I'm raised up, like say, for example, when I'm in my husband's Jeep. Like, I definitely feel like I am in an SUV when I'm driving that. With this one, it feels like I'm in a car. Even like looking at the car right beside me, like I feel like I'm fairly low to the cars beside me. So it just, I feel like if you really want that SUV feel, you're not going to get it with this because it is a compact SUV. It feels very much like I am driving a car. And that could lead to the next reason why I don't really like this car, is because while the seats are adjustable, really, this is as tall and as high as I can go. I like to sit, now this is raised up pretty high, but I like to sit fairly high up. In my i3, I am sitting like, some people don't like because it's like driving a bus, but I like to sit really high up so I can see sort of above the dash. With this one, the seats are adjustable, but the amount of range for the seats I find isn't the greatest. So I'm still sitting fairly low, and this is the highest setting. So that's something else I don't really like, and I mean, there's no way to change that. It's just, you can't adjust the seat so you're sitting up a little bit higher. Okay, so the last thing about this car that I'm not a huge fan of is that while like all the bells and whistles that it comes with, I love the panoramic sunroof, I love the fact that it has the automatic trunk opening, I love the fact that it has a lighting package, all these things, you have to pay extra for it. So on this model that I have right now, I believe I have the premium essential package. It's not even the enhanced package. And that's an extra $4,000 or $3,700 that you have to pay. If you want to get the enhanced package, that's an extra $6,000. And then if you want to get the sport packages, that's also extra money. So I know that with a lot of cars in general, not just luxury cars, you do have to pay for extra things, but I feel like when it comes to BMW, they kind of give you bare bones, and then you really have to pay extra to get the good things. Especially, like, I feel like a sunroof for this car is essential, honestly, because it really opens it up, because it is a compact SUV. It's black inside, it's that leatherette. Really having this here just makes it a lot brighter and airier and more open, and that's an added cost. The lighting package, it adds a nice ambiance. It's not necessary, but I do like it, and I would pay for that. And it pains my heart having to know that I would have to pay extra for, you know, some lights and things like that. But so also being in Vancouver, like having the automatic trunk open is just, it's smart, because when it's pouring rain and you're, you know, running from the grocery store, really you just want to have that trunk open for you as soon as you get there. And then you can hop inside, close it from the inside, easy peasy. It's just, it's such a smart thing to have, but again, you have to pay extra for that. It adds up. So even with my i3, for example, by the time I added on all the packages that I wanted, all the options I wanted, that was an extra, I think, $6,000, almost $7,000. So it can be a lot, just know that, and that's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of. I feel like their packages and all their extras can be quite pricey, and I just wish some of them would be sort of standard. Like, I don't know why the automatic trunk wouldn't be standard. Ugh, I wish it were, because it's so smart. Those are all the things that I love and I kind of don't like about the 2020 BMW X1. Like I said, this is just a loaner vehicle. Would I buy this in the future? I think I would. They're coming out with a hybrid model, and I would really love to buy the hybrid model of this. And like I said, my husband's Jeep, we've had so many problems with it, and it drinks gas. So I think that this is something that would suit our lifestyle. It's just the two of us, and even if we were to, I don't know what that fuzz, has that fuzz been there the whole time? Whoops. And even if we were to, you know, have a family sometime in the future, there would definitely be enough room. My mom has sat in the back here and she's had enough room. So I think that this is a great sort of small compact SUV. It's exactly what it is. And I feel like it's roomy and it has really great attributes. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.